Greetings! Today in this topic we're going to talk about typing a relationship and the loading and reading issues of a relationship. When you're looking at a relationship, if you're adding a role or a type, it seems to be more flexible, but in the end it is not. It's kind of an abstraction or generalizing. When you're loading a relationship with a role on it, remember that for every time you're loading, you have to add the appropriate role to be sure to load the data on the right direction. And when you're reading it, you always need to add a filter to it to make sure you get the appropriate data. So it's harder if you have a role or a type on a relationship. It's harder to load the data because you need to add more stuff before you can load it. And when you're reading it, you always need to filter on that one. And even worse part is, when you have a relationship with a role added to it or a type added to it, you don't understand the model anymore. It's very hard. You always need to look, oh, what kind of relationship do I have? Let me look at the data to see what kind of roles I'm having on that relationship, what kind of types I'm having on that relationship. So that's not the way to go. So if I'm looking at a relationship which is typed, just as you showed on the slide, you can see, hey, I have a customer, I have a car, and the customer can be an insurer of the car, or it could be the driver of the car, or is just interested in the car. And there might be more in the future. And interest in the car is coming from marketing maybe, and the driver of the car for your CRM system. Insurance system gives you the insurer of the car. So whenever my insurance system gives me information, I'm going to load the relationship and say, hey, I have a car, I have a customer, and that you're related to each other. Oh, I need to add the type of insurer. Or for marketing, oh, I have the car, I have the customer, and I need to add that it's interest in the car. This customer has interest in the car. There's a better solution. Let's go to the whiteboard and just see how it works. Okay, here we are at the board, right? We have our customer, our Corebus customer. We have our Corebus customer car. And we had a relationship between the two. Remember, insurer, driver, and interested in. If we are typing it, we always need to add that extra information. If we're reading from it, we always need to filter that one. But it can be way easier. Let's start off with, hey, our finance department says we want to know who's the insurer of the car. Why don't we just start off with a relationship saying, hey, I have a customer and that's the insurer of a particular car. And then CRM comes in and says, hey, you know what? I want to know who the driver of the car is. And let's just say my CRM system is going to drive my relationship between the car and the customer. It's a driver relationship. And last but not least, marketing said last, yeah, it's interesting, but we know who had interest in that car before, so that's the first step in the process. Can we have that one as well? Well, I can just add it. And just add an extra relationship. And the cool thing about it is that the only thing what I'm doing is, instead of adding more filters to it, adding more extra patterns to it when loading it, I can just add whatever I'm coming. This one's coming from finance, this one's coming from CRM, this one's coming from marketing. No filtering needed when I'm reading it, no extra step needed when loading it. The model is clear and understandable. And the cool thing is, if I want to know if the driver and insurer are the same, yes or no, I'm just comparing the relationship with each other. How easy is it? Let's go and recap. Okay, as I just explained to you on the board, and this is just more kind of the recap out of it, it's right. Hey, every relationship we see is just modeled as a unique specific business relationship in Elm. We are going to say, hey, if there is an insurer from a car, there's a different relationship between the car and the customer called insurer. Or when that's the driver, it's a different relationship. It's a different when you're just interested in. It gives you all the benefits. It's completely clear and understandable by the business, because now the business can see, hey, I have a car, I have a customer, insurer, driver, interest. So those are apparently the relationships we have. So they're completely clear. When I want to load it, if it's coming from marketing, I'm just loading the one, hey, this is the relationship between the car and customer, which is the interested relationship. If it's coming from a customer relationship, it's a driver one, and so on and so on. So I don't need to do extra information when loading a relationship. I don't need to filter on it, I can just pick it out. And even the cool part is, hey, which person is the driver and also the insurer? I can just compare the relationship with each other. So that's it. For now, it's all about relationships and why we are modeling what we are modeling. Every relationship is unique and specific, and what the benefits are on loading and reading. Thank you very much. See you next time.